All right, good morning, everyone. So today we're going to be reviewing the second set of questions or part of the pocket that you did yesterday. So we're talking about from the history and description of Africa. So this type of text is something that was done firsthand. So the person who wrote it was there and witnessed it. And we've talked about this type of text. And my question for you today, and you can comment in the answer or in the post, what type of text is it? What would we call this source? It has a name. Let's see who knows it. Okay, so, and if you answer it right, I'll give you some hero points because you can start cashing those, like raking those up for next year or for the end of this year. All right, so here we go. Born in 1485, Leo Africanus traveled across the Sahara to the city of Timbuktu in West Africa. His account provides a glimpse of life there in the early 1500s. In the city center in the center of the city is a temple. And in addition, there is a large palace constructed by the same architect where the king lives. The shops of the artisans, the merchant, and especially weavers of cotton cloth are very numerous. Fabrics are imported from Europe to Timbuktu, borne by Berber merchants. The inhabitants are very rich, especially the strangers who have settled in this country. So much that the current king has given two of his daughters in marriage to two brothers, both businessmen, on account of their wealth. There are many wells containing sweet water in Timbuktu, and in addition, when the Niger River is in the flood, the canals deliver the water to the city. Grain and animals are abundant, so that the consumption of milk and butter is considerable. But salt is very in short supply because it's carried here from to Gaza, some 500 miles from Timbuktu. I happened to be in the city at a time when a load of salt sold for 80 ducats. The king has a rich treasure of coins and gold ingots. One of these ingots weighs 970 pounds. So you can see here, Timbuktu is located right on the water, and that leads to the ocean, and that's really their only source because they are in the desert. So they're talking about how when the river floods, because there's a time of the year when the water overflows, they built canals like the canals we have in our backyards or by the school and stuff that would bring the water into the city instead of it flooding the city. So it was actually a very advanced civilization for its time. He also talks about the wealthiness that the people who came in, the Berbers, they weren't kings or anything, but they were considered to be so highly respected and so rich that the king let two of his daughters marry two of the businessmen because they were so wealthy. All right. There in Timbuktu, numerous judges, teachers, and priests, all properly appointed by the king. So if you wanted to be a judge or a teacher or anything like that, the king had to say, hey, I recommend this person. He greatly honors learning. Many handwritten books imported from Barbary are also sold. There is more profit made from this commerce than from all other merchandise. Instead of coin money, pure gold nuggets are used. And for a small purchase, cowrie shells, which have been carried from Persia, and of which 400 equal a ducat. So Persia would be over in like the Middle East area. So shells from like the ocean, he would exchange them for money. All right, so we had to underline, what did the king of Timbuktu think of the culture and learning? He greatly honors it. He said he had numerous judges, teachers, and priests, and he had to appoint them. So they thought very highly of it. All right, so the next question is, the chart shows the cause and effects of the text. So we have the causes over here. We have Berber merchants set up trade routes with Europe. Grain and animals were plentiful, but salt was not. And the king respected education and learning. And then we have the effects. So Timbuktu merchants become rich. There were many judges, teachers, and priests, and salt was imported from 500 miles away. So because of the trade routes with Europe, the effect would be the merchants in Timbuktu being rich, and the salt would be imported from ways away because they made the routes to be able to do it. The plentifulness of the grains and the animals, but not the salt, again, made them rich. But because of that, they had to import the salt from far away. And the king respected education and learning, and we know that because he had many judges, teachers, and priests. For your next one was this one's just talking. So if you want to comment below your answer, So based on Leo Africanus's account, what were two causes that led to Timbuktu becoming the center of culture and learning? Use the organizer on page 73 to gather your evidence. So it doesn't have it, but I want you to comment it. Tell me what you put. And then your short answer should have been something like this, using the evidence from the graphic organizer. Text to explain how Timbuktu became a center of culture and learning. So it's something along these lines. There are a couple of causes why Timbuktu became a center of culture and learning. The first cause was the king of Timbuktu greatly honored learning. As a result, he appointed many judges, teachers, and priests who were all involved in Timbuktu's culture and learning. A second cause was the trade in books imported from Barbary was made more profitable than all other forms of commerce. And because the trade in books is profitable, many books came to Timbuktu, and books are an important part of culture and learning. As a result of these two causes, Timbuktu became a very important center of culture and learning. You also have to remember back then, not everybody knew how to read. Only rich people and mostly high, powerful men could read. So the fact that they valued reading and education and there were such an imported books means they wanted everyone to be educated. So that's another big one. Tomorrow we'll go over the African kingdoms. With those answers, your last packet. And yeah, have a great day.